It is not built off as a Henry Costa. It is those Liberian people that Henry Costa being falsely accusing as murderers, as thieves, and he goes with impunity. And he feels free anytime to say anything to anybody, and then nothing happened to him. I'm doing this for the Liberian people to know that nobody can sit in the comfort zone of the United States of America and endanger the lives of other people.
Okay.
I'm doing this for my daughter, Margaret, or Mawen. So that Mawen will not call me and say, Daddy, did you kill Uncle Emmanuel? Why did you do that? And I'll ask Mawen, what's your choice? She said, I heard one Henry Costa saying, you killed Uncle Emmanuel. And I will tell my daughter, they fought a decade of war in Liberia. I did not join any warring faction. Nobody has seen me with gun before in my life.
On the murder of our son. For us, our family, it was murder. We have reached the conclusion that our son was murdered. We're not accepting any suicide. Our son was murdered. And we are only here so that government can be able to tell us why he was murdered and who murdered him.
Who was Melvin prior to his death?
Melvin was a gentle giant. Melvin was very lovable, kind, funny, gentle.
Listen, if you are a lady out there and you like me, Please tell me you will not die. I'm telling you, you will not die. Just tell me I'm here. Tell me you like me so that we can start something. Don't hold it, my dear. Eh? You might never know I also like you too. Eh? You will never know I like you too. Eh? This is stupid nonsense of you ladies just keeping it to yourself. You are dying inside. You are buried inside. There's even a tombstone. Believe me, my dear friend, you are missing out. If you want a relationship with me, you like me, please tell me. Tell me, my lady, tell me. I'm here for you. Yeah.
During the past 12 years, our party, the Congress for Democratic Change, accepted the disputed results of two previous presidential elections in 2005 and in 2011 in the interest of peace. Nevertheless, throughout those two terms, we continue to engage the government of the day in a constructive manner, even accepting to serve as peace ambassador when called upon to assist them to maintain the peace under their regime. We must all learn to respect the mandates of our electorate, even when that mandate is not in our favor, and not be selective in our support for democracy only when we win. Mr. President, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the Liberian civil conflict came to an end when all parties and warring factions signed a comprehensive peace agreement in Accra, Ghana in August 2003. The accord called for the establishment of a Truth and Reconciliation Commission, the TRC, to provide a forum that will address issues of impunity, as well as an opportunity for both the victims and perpetrators of human rights violations to share their experiences in order to facilitate genuine healing and reconciliation. The TRC was duly established, concluded its hearing, and produced a final report in 2009. Among other things, the report called for the establishment of an extraordinary criminal tribunal to prosecute those identified as having committed gross violations of human rights and economic crimes between 1979 and 2003. It is important to note that the TRC report also recommended the use of conflict resolution mechanism that has been traditionally used in Liberia, called the Palava Hut, where in various district meetings conducted by community elders, perpetrators could publicly request forgiveness from the victims, and where the aims of restorative justice could be served. When I spoke before you last September, after my first 9 months in office, I indicated a preference for dialogue as a conflict resolution mechanism, so that as a government and people, we could together focus our efforts on poverty reduction, growth, and economic development, rather than on retribution. However, since that time, there has been a rising chorus of voices from many quarters calling for the establishment of an economic and war crime court. These voices include not only thousands of war victims, but also of the alleged perpetrators who seem to wish to either clear their names or their conscience. Support for the establishment of the court has also been voiced by many international organizations, as well as some of our international partners. Mr. President, we are at a loss to understand why the clamor for the establishment of the code is now being made, almost 4 decades after it was first called for, and during which time no such pressure was brought to bear on the government that grew out of the Accra Peace Accord. Nevertheless, our government is a listening administration, and we have been paying keen attention to the voices of our people. What I have discerned from their cries is that it is important.
We must learn how to celebrate our diversity without drawing lines of division in our new Liberia. We belong to Liberia first, before we belong to our inherited tribes or chosen counties. We must not allow political loyalties prevent us from collaborating in the national interest. We must respect each other and act as neighbors, regardless of religious, social, and economic differences. In the words of our national anthem, a union strong, success is sure. We cannot fail. United, we are certain to succeed as a nation. Divided, we are certain to fail. Fellow citizens, ladies and gentlemen, it is my belief that the most effective way to directly impact the poor and to narrow the gap between the rich and poor is to ensure that public resources do not end up in the pocket of government officials. That the overwhelming mandate that I received from the Liberian people is a mandate to end corruption in public service. I promise to deliver on this mandate. As officials of government, it is time to put the interests of our people above our own self-interest. It is time to be honest with our people. Though corruption is a habit among our people, we must end it. We must pay civil servants a living wage so that corruption is not an excuse for taking what is not theirs. For those who do not refrain from enriching themselves at the expense of the people, the law will take its course. I say that you will be prosecuted to the full extent of the law. To the private sector, I say to you, Liberia is open for business. We want to be known as a business-friendly government. We will do all that is within our power to provide an environment that will become conducive for the conduct of honest and transparent business. We will remove unnecessary regulatory constraints that tend to impede the establishment and operation of business in a profitable and predictable manner. As we open our doors to all foreign direct investment, we will not permit Liberian-owned businesses to be marginalized. As we open our doors to all foreign direct investment, we will not permit Liberian-owned businesses to be marginalized. We cannot remain spectators in our own economy.
Many Liberians, not some, in the diaspora, they push cartoon like everyone else, come up in the evening and write trash. Stanton Witherspoon, the CEO, cartoon pusher. Dr. Peabody, cartoon pusher. Then, cartoon pusher. The Quarterly Association of Liberian Journalists in America. Have you seen it on CNN? Have you seen it on Fox News? You can be sitting in America, just eating burger and be talking all kind of things. It's not fair. I'm out of government now. And I stood by what I said, and I stand by it today. Cartoon pusher.
Become a legitimate salary from workers instead of increasing or just leaving it at a less, but to have removed it as per their power. We are calling on the legislature. When we say legislature, we mean the lower house and the House of Representatives. As you can see today, the staff here is comprises of the House of Representatives and the House of Senate. So we're giving them 3 days ultimatum. 3 days ultimatum to meet the concerned staff authorities as to how they're going to restore that money and pay it retroactively. Any move other than that, I can promise you that the legislature, none of them will enter here, especially those of them that want to be senator. It is very right that's happening to have seen even the chair at the lower house of Representatives, Honorable Thomas Fowler, to say you want to be.
Western Town overlooks a rocky and dusty hill known as Ecomoc Hill after an Ecomoc peacekeeper who died in a car crash during the First Liberian Civil War. Children played as I traveled by motorbike into the predominantly Muslim town, a very different scene from what transpired here 25 years ago. Omen Dauman Conte, 49, recalls the night the massacre took place here in August 1994.
The whole town was hard and scattered. Nobody knew where they are going. They were just shooting. Some people yelling. They grabbed some people, they cut their throat. Some people, they were killed by a gun. So, after we all left the town, they did a shooting. Daylight, we were managed to come. I mean, tears.
With tears rolling down his eyes, Conte said more than 25 disfigured bodies were counted after the incident. Conte says it was difficult to identify most of the bodies that had been scattered around the town and left in bushs, so he and other elders of the town buried the dead in mass graves. This is one of the many mass graves in Western Town. We are told that some of the people who were allegedly murdered by Alhaji Kuman's Unimoke forces were dumped here. Elders of this town tell us there's no memorial for them, and these people were never buried in line with Islamic rites. Conte believes the soldiers acted on Kuman's orders, but the TRC report claims both Unimo K and Unimo J were responsible for the massacre.
Alhaji Kuman, no reason that he gave order to his people to come kill our people here. There's no reason. Because we are not fighting them. We are not soldiers. We are not soldiers. When we see them, we run away from them. Why must they come and attack us? The other they are attacking enemy. We are not exchanging guns with them.
We met Professor Alhaji Kuman at his deserted residence. Only a few staff are available for aid purposes. In an exclusive interview with us, Kuman denies every accusation by residents of Western Town against him and his troops, claiming a similarity in the names of his rebel group and that of Roosevelt Johnson's may have been an issue.
Like I'm saying, Unimo K, Unimo J. I'm not insisting that it has to be Unimo J. I'm not trying to impose a crime on a group that I cannot identify clearly just because I want to say something. No, it's unfair to do that. But I'm saying the possibilities of it being our people very, very minimal.
Conte wants those responsible for the death of his relatives and others killed during the Liberian Civil Wars to be held accountable for their actions.
If I have the power now, I want for the War Crime Code to be here. If I have the power, because not in Liberia, because no reason why those people won't kill our people and they passing around boasting, they enjoy, and some of them they threaten people. If you don't do this, we'll go back in the bush again. We'll do this. For what reason? Because to kill our people, you going free?
Calls for the court are resonating around this town. Its youth leader Mustafa Rogers was 10 when the alleged killings took place here, but he says he vividly recalls civilians and fighters of other warring factions captured by UNMOK were detained in the 44th Continuum and killed at May Day every day. He identifies one of Kroman's alleged generals called Senegalese, who was known for eating human hearts.
You know, like me, he want me because maybe my heart, he say my heart black. When you bright like that, he say your heart involved. Me okay, you open you, and tell the heart, eat it. Senegalese, not any person but Senegalese. They met 8 people in Raspo and then they drove in from there, they say move from here. Senegalese.
Rogers' allegations are supported by Ome Conte.
But the West and West person was Senegalese, because if I will not kill you and leave you, he will kill and eat you. Eh? He will kill and eat you.
Kroman claims that his troops were so disciplined that if they were smoking cigarettes or opinion and saw him, they would put it in their pockets for fear of being punished by him. Kroman says, although he heard about fierce rebel general called Senegalese, the individual did not fight for him, as he dismisses Besser.
We are here to be the able chairman, the chairperson of the COP Minnesota chapter. Let us bring him in. Chairman, how you doing? Hello? Chairman Douglas? The chairman left. He will call back because it's going to be a exclusive discussion here. So the chairman will call back so we can ask him all of the questions.
On the panel of the Justice for Victor campaign and residents of District number 17 have gathered at the grounds of the Capitol to petition the 54th National Legislature to summon the Inspector General of the Liberian National Police, Colonel Patrick Suru, on grounds that on the 15th of August, Paul Little Innocent, Victor Famula was murdered with body parts allegedly extracted, and the suspect was a...
I'll bring you the chairman right now. Chairman Douglas, how are you doing?
I'm doing wonderful, AB. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing quite okay. Okay, you are live. All right. Chairman Douglas, how is your weekend going so far?
Well, my weekend is going good so far. I'm just hanging out with my family. We came to another family member house. So, guys, sorry I'm not at home to be on my desktop, but I'm still going to use my phone to be on this wonderful platform of music. Everybody is doing well by the grace of God. We tell God thank you for life, and we are able to see this day.
Thank you. I'd like to dive into the issues. The issue of COP. You know, as many people have not yet understand, and I want for you to make it clearly to them, what is the sole purpose of COP?
Well, the sole purpose of COP, I think a lot of people don't know what COP stands for and what COP is out to do. The sole purpose of COP is to mount pressure on the government, but at the same time, coming with tangibles to help the Liberian people. It's a movement that was designated and designed for the Liberian people, but we are taking it to a different length, not just only putting pressure on the government. We are going to start some community organization stuff where we will have people to be engaging our folks in the various communities on issues involving Liberia and revolving around Liberia and in Liberia and all of Liberia. Because for too long, our people have been sitting and they have been lacking a lot when it comes to the everyday thing happening in Liberia. So COP is finding a way to start moving into communities and bringing awareness of issues that is unfolding in our country. So we are not only just there for protest or to hold the government feet to the fire, but we are also there to deliver tangibles. So therefore, we are asking every meaningful Liberian to join the COP, come on board, get to know the COP, get to know what we stand for. I know there are so many rumors out there that COP is this, COP is that. Well, in every organization, you will have problems. But the main issue of the COP is to make sure we deliver to the Liberian people and we have answers.
Chairman, your camera is not. Yeah, then you're okay. Okay.
Okay.
Then you can go ahead.
So, like I was saying, it's to deliver to the Liberian people, not just putting pressure on the government, not just going to protest. There are so many things that we have in the pipeline that we will execute way beyond the expectation and the belief that people think that COP is just protestation group.
Now, do you guys have a criteria set for membership in your COP?
Well, right now, criteria-wise, we don't have, like to say, you have to reach certain criteria to be a member of the COP. No. If you want to be a member of the COP, all you have to do is contact one of those, in which I will give you the contacts of those that are in charge of recruitment, and then they can take your name and register you on the website and take it from there. But as criteria wise, to say we have certain criteria put in place that you have to meet, no, we don't have that yet because it's a people movement, right? So anybody is welcome for any political party, from any other organization, any walk of life to join the COP. So the COP is not just minimized to a certain group of people or certain kind of people. It's for everybody, every Liberian. Other nationalities can join the COP so long as they stand for the cause that the COP stands for.
But is there any achievement so far have the COP received? Have the COP received any achievement, pardon, at this present time that you are speaking on this microphone?
What you're talking about is receiving an achievement from other entity or government, or to be recognized as they have done something tangible within the society?
Yeah. That's what I am asking you.
Well, the COP is not looking for recognition, because that's not what the COP was meant for. We are just here to do the work of the Liberian people and do what is right and deliver tangibles to the Liberian people. So we are not looking for any recognition as we are doing this for us to be recognized by the government or to be recognized by some other organization or political parties. No.
But have you achieved?
Oh yeah, we have made a lot of achievement within the COP.
Such
as the during the Ebola crisis, the COP went ahead and we had this Ebola fund drive that we did from the US, raised money, we bought buckets, we bought PPE equipment, we bought a whole lot of stuff, and we went delivering to orphanage homes, hospitals, name it. The same thing with the COVID, we did it. And besides that, the COP have been donating rice and other stuff to people in Liberia. But the COP want to go beyond donation. We want to now become part of the community. So we want to start community networking as far as going out having workshop, right? So those are some of the tangibles we have delivered, and we still have more to deliver.
As Henry Costa posted the last time about the hemp, are you care to talk about
the water kiosks? Yes.
Yes.
So Henry Costa, Leader Costa himself did do one of the water cares, and that another tangible we deliver. Now we did another water kiosk that which we are yet to dedicate to that community because of the low water pressure within the community. We have consulted with water and sewer as to what is going on. They have told us that the water kiosk, where it sits, there will be low level water pressure within the community. So that is why up to this time we have not been able to dedicate the water kiosk. So we are waiting for water and sewer to give us the green light that they have full pressure water, because when you are dedicating such a project, you want to have the project in full display, that the water is running, and then you do the dedication to the people. So water and sewer is our only hold up right now.
Back to the issues of the COP. You know, it have been a rumor that COP received a huge donation from some political actors. Are you care to talk about that as well?
Well, when you talk about huge donation, in terms of what? What was the?
In terms of money.
Yeah, but what was it intended for? Because that's, he said rumors. That's all speculation. First of all, we have people accuse our leader on so many occasions, accuse other officials of the COP on so many occasions of soliciting bribe for protests, soliciting bribe for this and that. And those people have not come out with any tangibles or evidence to show that here is it, they did it. You know, I think our problem is when we see good things and some of us don't agree with the good things or agree with some part of the good things that people do, it becomes a problem. So if I come out and say AB collected money for XYZ and I cannot bring evidence, that just kills the drive and momentum of what AB wants to do. But it's not going to stop us as COP members. There has been nobody in the COP that collected bribe or collected a huge sum of money for no reason to do anything. That is just a flat out lie. And these things will happen, AB, you know, because, you know, sometimes when you are mightier and bigger, people look for a way to cut you down, and they cannot find any clean way to cut you down, but they come with all kinds of rumors and all kinds of tactics to make you to look irrelevant. But that's just flat out lie.
Are there any protests? Are there any planned protests? Or are there any planned?
Well, as for now, the COP, as far as I know, we don't have any plan in protest of any plan at any given time to protest. We are going to stand with the Liberian people. If we see the need for them to get out and protest, we are going to stand with them to protest with them. But as far as COP go...
So that means to say you are satisfied the way in which the government is governing the people?
Well, we are not satisfied. We will continue to talk about the issues. When protest is necessary, AB, I think the leadership will convene a meeting and see into it whether we should call a protest. But as it stands, we will still talk about the issues. We will still push the government, and we'll still hold the government accountable. But it's about time the Liberian people gets involved, not just sitting and waiting. COP is just an entity with few people that wants to help the Liberian people, but the Liberian people need to get involved with what is going on. Because this thing that is happening in Liberia is not just COP, it's everybody. So COP can just do this much. But if Liberians within Liberia, and those are all the Liberians, everybody gets involved, then you have the legitimate answers that you need. But COP cannot give you that answers to say we will protest and what will happen will happen. COP is just an arm that is in support of the Liberian people.
You're saying the Liberian people need to get involved, but your power protest, the Liberian people was involved. The Liberian people gave you their support. They gave you their support that indeed things are not okay. They gave you their support that indeed that a Henry Pedro Costa have decided to talk for them. So is because things that you guys requested for for it to be done, it was never done.
It was never done, AB, because you know what? You cannot protest one day and you expect solution the same day.
So are you saying
in order to get what you want, you have to be consistent with your demands, and the COP is just doing that. The COP, you see that, AB, the leader of the COP, others will be in the COP. Every day we talk about the issue. We bring the government to its heel, but it has to be a joint effort and it has to be an everyday thing. Not you get on the street today, you protest, and then tomorrow you sit down and say, well, we went there today, nothing happened. How do you expect something to happen when you only went there today, you left from there, and you cannot follow up?
But who are to follow up? It is you or the Liberian people. It is you,
the Liberian
leader.
people.
It is you. No, the Liberian people gave you that support. The Liberian people gave you. You call for protest. The Liberian people came out. You call for protest. The Liberian people came out. They supported you. They showed to you that yes, indeed, they are standing further behind you. Then who is to do the follow-up? It is you or the Liberian people.
AB, like I tell you, the COP is the institution, right? A movement designed for the Liberian people, that we will stand with them in fighting for their rights. We will stand with them in fighting for whatever that is needed to be done for them to have a decent life. But the COP cannot do it alone.
I know that.
We have done it on several occasions. We have called protests. Yes, people did come out. But when we ask people to stay in the street, Liberians become so complacent. I think they have become so complacent with the lifestyle they are living, in which I don't see it necessary for such a lifestyle, right? But if you cannot get in the street, even a COP decides today we're having a protest, and Liberians don't come out, tell me what tangible is the COP going to gain from that protest? Nothing. Nothing. Because it only going to be the COP members on the street that are protesting. So what are the results are we going to gain from there when Liberians cannot come out within the thousands and continue to march the street and demand what they need to be done? So it's not a COP. We are doing our part. And you know that. Typical, for example, you seen Black Lives Matters here. You saw what happened to George Floyd when he got killed. It was a continual protest until the people yielded fruit on what they wanted. But we need to do that. Liberians need to know that it's for their own rights. You don't expect Mizik to leave from America to come and fight for your right. He can assist you in fighting for your right, in fighting for what you believe is the right thing. But if you don't do it, then how can Mizik continue to fight for it? He will only sit and talk about it. So Liberians need to come out and make their voices heard, not just today, tomorrow, the day after, the next following month. That's how you get results. Result is not just you go today and you expect it today. No.
So let us look at the COP in America. How many chapters do you have currently as we speak?
Well, currently as we speak, we got up to about 5 chapters.
5 chapters.
And our goal, 5 chapters within the United States. But outside the United States, you got Norway, Australia, we got Germany, we got France. But we plan that before the end of this year to decentralize within the United States. And we are working with our counterparts in Europe in the decentralization process, because we want COP to be in every country, every state, every community. So as vice chair of operation for the diaspora, I've been working tirelessly with other chapter leaders on decentralization. And we had an executive meeting the other time. I told my boss, Stephen Johnson, there's a need for us to decentralize quickly and sooner.
Now, many people call you chairman. Many people call you chairman. Somebody said, you know, what is it? I said, then how you will call Henry Pedro Costa? I said, no, he is a chairman of Minnesota chapter. So a chairman will always be a chairman. So are you here to talk about that a little bit?
You know, I felt that there should be some this thing among between the chairman and the leader. That is why I call him leader, because I don't feel good calling him chairman, and people calling me chairman. So I started to call him leader, and later on other people follow. But a chairman is a chairman, regardless of who is the national chairman or who is the overall chairman. When you have chairman within other subdivisions, they are chairman. And there's no difference between the named chairman from Chairman Costa or the other subdivisional leaders as chairman. But for me, I look at it as there should be some, level of this thing. I call him leader because he's our leader. He's the arrowhead of the institution. So, but there are others that still call him Chairman Costa, but I call him leader.
Now, back to the issues. The COP having to be a very unique organization, which they have lawyers, they have social workers, they have all ways of life, people with distinct characters. What did you say? What do you have to say about some of the members that are within COP? What is the guideline? What are the norms and don'ts of the COP? What are the norms and the don'ts of the COP?
Well, thank you, AB. Thank you for that. First of all, let's make this clear. And Rome wasn't built in one day time.
Mm-hmm.
When the COP was funded by Henry Costa and the others, I know there are stuff that they have wanted to put in place but could not do it. But the good thing is the COP have gotten to the stage where she now has some other technocrats on board that saw the necessity of bringing in our bylaws and constitution that will be, able to help in guiding us and taking us where we want to go. It is true there are some distinct people in COP with good characters and stuff. And it is true there are others that would, troublemakers, whatever it is. But the good thing about COP is that we deal with issues as we see it, and we let people to know that is not what we stand for. We stand for every good meaning and meaningful Liberian will know that if you are going to be the one to put people in check, you yourself should have check within your institution, check and balance. So the COP do not tolerate indecency. We will not tolerate that. We will not tolerate lawlessness. We will not. I think you saw that. It happened at one point. We had to suspend and we had to expel.
Baby.
Yeah.
Because
Stop putting pastors in trouble. Stop setting pastors.
Yeah, Chairman, go ahead.
You have to set examples for people to know that you are serious. And the COP did just that. We had situation where we had to expel. We had situation where we had to suspend. And in order for you to be taken seriously as a well-recognizable and tangible institution.
So what are the norms and don'ts of the COP that when you do, what are some of the character, or what are some of the things that you can be able to suspend someone for? For example.
Well, Go ahead.
For example, so when you do, you're saying that people with malar's character will not be, COP will not be able to condemn you.
Right. So
Character as such as what?
character as such as rudeness, rudeness in general, disgruntledness in general, and that would be taken to a board meeting, AB, in order for disciplinary action to go on. It has to be taken to a board meeting where the leaders will talk about it, and then it's taken to the advisory council board. They will look at all the evidence, look at everything. As much as you want to discipline people, but you got to give people due process. All right? So it's not just somebody come and say, AB went and post slap in my ear, or AB went and wasted my food, or AB, talk smack to me. We need those evidence. We need those stuff, because that is what we're going to go off of to make the determination as to what kind of a punishment you're going to serve. So the person has to be given due process, but those that spoke on disgruntledness, rudeness, that will not tolerate. Mischievous acts, those will not be tolerated. So those are some of the things that the leadership don't take lightly. They look into it when it is brought up, and then it's sent to the advisory council board. The advisory council board look at it, and whatever is in there to be done, it comes back to the leadership for leadership to take action.
Yeah, that is really. I call that a diplomacy, trend, because, in every organization it is necessary for a bylaw and constitutions to be set up. So that indeed is COP. I must give you guys a hand of applause. But
Thank you.
The pressure on the government. What do you have to say with the life, with the way the government is operating, with the life of Nathaniel Falomage, with the life of Eugene Nangbe, with the life of Samuel Toy, that Liberians have to get up to go to their houses in the morning time. When you go to Samuel Toy, they have to say they just open the human being box.
You see, AB, the last time I was on your show, I think with my good brother George Lobo, and I struck a point. We all understand that the government lacks direction and leadership. We all understand that. But we should also understand that people that wants to run for political office, people that wants to be representative senators or whatever in Liberia, they equally so have to be taxed with the same way the government is taxed, because you need to improve the life of the people. You don't need political office to improve the lives of Liberians. So every political party and its political leader has an obligation in Liberia, okay, to mean well for the life of Liberians, not just the government. The government is the main person we look to. But political parties, tell me, our people are lacking the basic necessity of education, civics education, the right to know. These are some of the things that you don't wait for government. And these are some of the things that COP within the coming months going to start applying to community, civic education, community engagement, teaching people the basic fundamental rights to know about themselves, about the community, the surroundings.
Gifty Nelson just said something here. She said, I want to join COP, but Prophet Key said that it is a gossip and merry-making club. How do you want? How true is that?
Well, to whosoever that asked that question, first of all, let me tell you something. The COP is now a gossip or merry-making club. The COP is now a social club. Because if the COP was a social club, by now I think there will be no COP. Mm-hmm. What happened is, in every organization, in every entity, be it government or whatsoever, well, you will have things that will happen. right? But it is upon the institution to take action to see to it that those things are put under control or don't happen. So the COP is now a gossip club. Sometimes if you don't know something about something, you need to come closer to the something to get to know about it. Somebody can get up and say, you know, that AB man is rude, he's blah, he's this and that. But how do I know AB is rude when I've not interacted with AB? I'm just going over the merit of what people is saying. But when I come to interact with AB and see the compassionate side of AB, then you start to think about why would people talk like this? So Liberia, we are very, very good for, you know, demonizing our friends' character or our characters or demonizing other people, for getting to know about we have a serious issue on the ground that needs to be dealt with. So my sister, the COP is now a gossip club, is now a merrymaking club. We are serious-minded people doing serious business. And within the coming months, like I told you, COP is going to be taking a different trend into communities.
Chairman Duque, what are your plans? What are your plan in this remaining years? What are your plans? What are the COP plans?
Well, the COP plans, like I told you, we have been meeting with other leaders. We have been meeting with the EC as to how we can put, you know, plans in place that will benefit the Liberian people, such as workshops, community engagement, empowering people. So those are things I've been working on with the national coordinator, Stephen Johnson, Leader Costa, and the team on the ground in Liberia. It's now an easy thing because you got to know what you're doing, how you're doing it, that it should turn up good, and it's something that will benefit the Liberian people. So we have a lot of things in the pipeline. We're even, the last time Leader Costa was talking about us setting up scholarships funds to help people, you know, giving them scholarship and stuff. So we have a lot of stuff in the pipeline. But the execution and implementation will come within months. We'll start doing some of those. We'll start rolling out the red carpet, and you guys are going to see it.
All right. So with that being said, you know, we have Chairman Duque on the line. If you want to participate, the number to call is 215-578-1015, or the number to call is 215-824-8124. Call now or for better to hold your peace. Chairman Duque, what do you want to say to Liberians who arm at opens to join a COP, but they have not yet decided? They have not yet decided because they're sitting on the fence for someone to talk to them, for someone to motivate them. What do you have to say to those Liberians who are sitting on the fence?
I would say to those Liberians is, you need to get up, you need to buckle up. People have written the COP off on so many occasions that the COP is dead upon arrival on this, the COP is dead upon arrival on that. Every institution got flaws, but it's how you compose yourself to get back up and get running. Well, it came a time that people wrote the COP off when we have some of our mighty generous leaders walk away from the COP. People thought the COP were dead, but the COP still came back and resurrected. I would tell you that this institution is a marvelous and fabulous institution that means well for the Liberian people. Every Liberian, wherever you live in Liberia, this is not a merrymaking institution. You got serious-minded people here. Most of the things that people see at the level of what they are saying and thinking that COP is a merrymaking institution is at the lower level. I don't want people to mind that. You need to come in. You need to know the organization for yourself. If you get in the organization and you see that it is what you were told, it's easy for you to bow out. But I would encourage people to get up. Don't sit on the fence. We all need to move Liberia. There are a lot of advocacy group out there. There are a lot of people out there advocating. We all are advocating the same message. But what we don't have is this working in unity together. We rather demonize each other. We rather denigrate each other because somebody wants to show superiority. We are not looking for superiority here. We are not looking for name here. We just want to do the right thing for Liberia. So I urge people to leave their seats, get up, come to the COP. Well, if you just want to be an associate, you can associate with us and see in the meantime what we are about, what we stand for, and then you can make a determination. But I urge you, get up. Don't sit there, because Liberia needs everyone on board to make Liberia what we want Liberia to be. Liberia cannot be Liberia just by 1, 2, or 3 person. No. It has to be everybody collective effort.
Yeah, that is true. Everybody needs to put their hands on the deck. What are some of your plan for members that are in their states, but they don't have a chapter in our state?
Yes.
Let's take a call. Let's take a call. What is the name and where are you calling from?
Yeah, my name is Bakaba Kone. I'm calling from Pennsylvania.
Chairman, you getting it?
Yes, I'm getting you.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask the brother a question, man, because all he's telling us here is that
the chairman.
Okay, I want to ask
Maybe he can say, "Oh, brother," he can say, "Oh, brother."
Yeah, my
it doesn't
problem
matter.
here is that everything that they are, when will the COP funded, and all he's telling us right now, everything is in the prep line. Nothing has materialized yet. And he's telling us
my brother.
No, Chairman, you wait for the brother call to finish. Then when I disconnect him, then you go ahead.
Yeah, the message is a very serious minded people. I respect that. We are all serious minded people. Each and every Liberian, I respect everybody. But my point is that the brother is telling us that everything is in the prep line. Nothing has materialized yet. They have never gone in the community yet. Yes, they still have a chance of protesting the street and do a lot of stuff. But yet, to make something empowering the people, like what he said right now, it's a very good thing to go in the community and educate the people. But everything is in the prep line. We have heard this music over and over, and it's not happening. What the chairman is doing about it? Let him tell us one meaningful thing that the COP is doing right now on the ground in Liberia, all the COP has done to empower the community, go in the community and talk to the people, help the people in any way. Let him tell us one thing. Everything should not be in the prep line. That's what I want to know.
Well, my brother, first of all, let me say this to you. I never said everything was in the pipeline. When Abraham asked a question, the COP have delivered some tangibles. But I said, and we said within our meeting, donation, contribution, we see it as not being enough. We need to step up to the plate to take it in a different direction. Now, we have donated oxygen tanks. We have donated a bag of rice.
Yeah, hold on.
We have donated so many things. But what we are saying is we need to take it a little farther in going into communities to empower our people. That is what I said. So the COP have done stuff, but we want to take it farther.
Okay. Chairman, we have another caller on the line. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling out from?
Hey, Mavic, this is Lofar Julius, and I'm calling you from Raleigh, North Carolina. How you doing today?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Hey, Lofar, how you doing?
Good, thank you. Quickly, couple questions that you asked and your studio guest response to it. I would like to kind of push on, and hopefully he can elaborate a little bit more. For an institution such as the COP that came to prominence based on a mass protest, one that were held in the country and acknowledged or recognized worldwide. And it was based on that protest, the June 7 protest, that the COP came to prominence. You asked the brother about what was the result, what was obtained from that protest. He acknowledged and admitted to the fact that actually nothing came out of the June 7 protest, because all of the requests made were not adhered to. They were ignored by the government. And then you follow up with a question asking, what other plans do they have? He then pushed it on the Liberian people and said, the Liberian people need to stand up. When they have provided support, and he consistently say, them. I want to start off by asking this question. Is the COP not a part of the Liberian community or society, or they are a NED institution responsible to provide handouts? Because he consistently referred to the body the people that the institution represents, which of course the institution is a part of the Liberian population, the society. But he consistently said, damn, they have to do that. They have to do that. Exclude them himself and that of the institution. So my first question here is the institution not a part of the community? Secondly, I want to also find out whether the protest was just, it was actually just staged in order to have an institution that will come and rely on Liberians to take the forefront in fighting for their own justice, their own act of obtaining accountability in the country, for them to follow up with it. What is it that the COP has as a planned objective, as an institution, to make sure that they achieve something in Liberia? Because I'm listening to him and I'm not hearing him offer any idea or suggestion as to what it is that they have as an objective or as a goal to achieve in Liberia.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Lofa, let me say this to you. Thank you. First of all, when I talk about the Liberian people, Lofa, in every protest, you need the people to stand up. Whether you are the head or not, you would need people to stand up. All right? The COP is a people movement. The COP, as I stated, has done and will do her part. You don't expect 4, 5, or 6 people from the COP to go and protest, and you expect the protest to materialize.
Yeah. But Chairman, what he is saying, he is.
I'm coming to what he's saying.
He is saying that you guys announced a protest, and the Liberian people join you guys.
The Liberian people, they joined on June 7th protest. They joined.
Okay.
They joined.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So what Lopez said, nothing either fruit from the protest. The government did not yield to what the COP and the Liberian people demanded, right?
Yeah.
The government did not. So what did we do? We kept having protests. We kept calling out people. But the thing here is, when you want tangibles, when you want goodies, AB, it's now a one-day thing. You go and stay in the street, you shout, and then when they throw water cannons and stuff, you run away.
But why is it that you guys could not remediate?
So you're saying, why is it that Henry Costa, Mo Ali,
and I'm not calling a specific person name. Why is
because if you say you guys,
I'm
referring
talking about
to as what?
I'm talking about
The Liberian people in general.
Yes, but the Liberian people were looking at you guys who plan to be the leader, for you guys to say we will stay here, and then you guys are going to get the support from the Liberian people, but you guys decided to leave.
On the January 6th protest, you saw what happened when Henry Costa called and said we would sleep in the street, we would sleep at the Capitol, regardless of what it is, right?
I saw that.
And the people yielded to it, but you saw what the government did in retaliation, right? Now, here is it, AB. You all know, and Lofa should not play the what they call cards, right? Liberian people are people that they are afraid. They get hit once, they don't want to go over there again. We can get up today and call a protest today. And you see how many people will come up. They are crying that their livelihood is this and that. We understand that. In the COP Band of People movement, the people themselves have to involve themselves into it. As we will involve ourselves, they themselves have to involve themselves for us to push and get tangibles.
But for each time, let's take another caller here. Caller, what is the name and where are you calling from?
Aliyu Kumar, calling from somewhere in the United States. How you guys doing?
Yeah, doing good. The COP chairman is on the line.
Yeah, the COP chairman, first of all, let me just say, I think there's something to his strong voice and all, but he hasn't really told us anything that could move the needle. The mayor is telling you that water cares have been provided,
by the COP. The man is telling you laptops were provided by the COP. Then you call here to say that the man is saying nothing.
Yeah, but AB, I have my take and I have my opinion, and I hope my opinion will be respected.
No.
We are not speaking in terms of whether he gave out a laptop or not. We're talking about a significance of the COP.
But first of all, the COP is now a political party.
How does it impact the COP? What is the mission of the COP?
Chairman, hold on. Let him finish.
Okay? What is the impact of the COP? What is the importance of the COP? The COP, he said the COP is not a social group. So is the COP a political group?
It's not a political group.
We are now a political
group. It's
group.
not a political group, then it has to be a social group.
No.
So if he says...
No, it's not a social group.
It's not a social group. It's a pressure group. A pressure group is different.
What is the difference? So what is the difference? This is an organization that decided that it wanted to hold the government or the CPP to a social contract.
I'm coming to you.
That wants to be a part of a social contract. Isn't that entity also a part of a social group? But let me just say this.
My brother, no,
the
I
COP,
think, go ahead.
like many other political or sub-political entity in the country, has misled the Liberian people to a greater and a great extent. And let me just tell you why. You saw the last demonstration that they decided to carry out, and they have Morba, who is a so-called Secretary General, was supposed to spearhead a rally or a protest. He was nowhere to be found. He put the people's children in the street. He was not there to be a vanguard movement or vanguard leader in order to motivate the crowd. He hid himself throughout the protest. No one knew where he was. And when the boys decided to call him to know his location, he wouldn't answer the phone until later on when the crowd was already being dispersed. We have women pretending to be men. They want to sit in the diaspora and push people to get in the streets. And even the leaders who are in the country would not want to be arrested by the police or even taken to the Liberia Central Police Station for even 2 hours because they are afraid. If you do not have the motivation, you're not man enough to lead the people, why do you want the people to jump in the street? I'm just saying that because of the comment that he made that the Liberian
No. Carter, AB, hold that Carter right there.
They trusted you
Hold
with
that Carter right there, AB.
Okay? Nothing came out of it. They also trusted you with another rally with the Christina.
AB, hold that Carter right there.
Okay? All of a sudden, most of you guys are not back the people.
Carter, wait. Let the chairman address that point that you just made.
First and foremost, my brother, let me say something to you. What you are saying here, the COP is now a political entity. It's now a social club. I stated as I was speaking, we have political parties in Liberia that needs to do the job of a political party. These political parties are supposed to be doing what COP is even doing.
Because I cannot hear your chairman.
Okay. The chairman can hear you, but you just say your own, and then you leave, and then the chairman will address that. Chairman, just wait for him. Okay, go ahead. Oh, okay. He left the line.
Yeah, okay.
We'll get another quarter. Quarter, what is the name?
No, hold on, AB.
Hello.
Yeah.
AB, let me address that issue before the quarter comes in.
You hold on.
First of all, my brother, I would say that the COP is not political. We are a pressure group. We have political parties within the country that is supposed to be doing actually what the COP is even doing. And many of the people mistake the COP to be the CPP. We are not there to do the job of a political party. We are doing what we think is necessary. So if you will say the COP did not do this, did not do that, where are the political parties that are supposed to be in the forefront of this? They are the ones that want power. The COP don't want power. We expect the political parties to do their part. We will do our part. So when people are coming on and saying, what is the COP doing? And they call the people out and this, yes, we will call the people out, we'll go out. The political parties that wants power needs to take the bull by its horn. The COP has said that they will stand with whosoever wins the standard bearership of the CPP to help to push their agenda. We are not here to do the work for the political parties. They got to get up. We will do what we can do as COP.
Thank you.
That I just want to make clear to that brother.
Thank you. We have another caller on the line. Caller, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Eve, and I'm calling from Minnesota. I was just calling because I had a question for the chairman. I heard the chairman
How you doing, Eve?
said that the COP is a pressure group, which I knew that's what when the COP was founded, they said the COP was a pressure group. The reason why the COP was founded is because of the pressure that they was putting on the government. At that time, and they continue to put on the pressure that it felt like the Liberian people already needed air, and the pressure they were putting on the government at that time. Now, my question to the chairman, he said the COP is a pressure group. And I understand as a pressure group, I, as an individual, look up to the COP with all these illegal things that are going on in the country, with all this molesting of our children, young women, law going out of order. I just wanted to know to the chairman, for the chairman to tell us what pressure COP is a pressure group. What pressure is COP putting on the lawmaker in Liberia that make them to put some system in place to kind of give the people now a little bit of ease in life from all these children abuse, murdering, because they are pressure group. We know they are not a party, but they are pressure group. When they put pressure on things, they start to get good results. That's why the Liberian people are counting on them. So I just want to know, with all of this chaos that going on with children being raped, all of these buildings
Coming to you.
putting on the lawmaker to make them for the lawmaker then to put something in place for the everyday typical Liberian people that the COP are fighting for to get some type of ease so they can able to think twice to get ready for 2023. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, Eve. Thank you. First and foremost, Eve, let me tell you, with these lawmakers, we once had a meeting to see what we can do, a sit-in protest at the Capitol building. And the EC, the leader of the COP, talk about it. But when you're doing such a protest nowadays, you want to organize yourself and put yourself together, that when you go down there, you will have, even if you don't have all of the results that you want, you will gain something from there. So what we were looking at is you have majority of the representatives and senators from opposition parties, right? So even if we as COP is going to mount the pressure on those senators and representatives, what are the party leaders also doing? COP can do what she can do, says Eve, but the party leaders of the parties that are seeing the lawmakers taking money and allowing such to go on, what also are they doing? The COP alone cannot do it all. We need everybody on deck. We need the political leaders to stand up to the political candidates and tell them, and stand up to the political representatives and senators and tell them it's wrong. Even we as COP, we can go and make all the noise. But if these political leaders are not standing up to their own parties and telling them the truth and telling them what it's doing is wrong, you and I can go and sit in at the Capitol all day. We can make noise all day. But if we don't have one voice, it's useless.
Okay. Now go you there. Now bring you the other caller. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling us from?
Hey, how are you, AB?
I'm doing good. And you?
My name is Duke, calling from Minnesota.
Duke, go ahead.
All right. So, Mr. Chairman, thank you very much. Let me portray some of these callers that asking all these silly questions on the chairman. First of all, you see, our society, Liberia, the people that sit there, they don't want to see nothing progress in Liberia. Those people that are asking those questions, like for example, I listened to that brother, the first one, Julia, and the other brother. These people are the same people that sit in the corner watching people to go doing things, and then they criticize. But
no far coming to you.
You did the right answer. the party, I mean, the COP is not a political party.
But Mr. Duke, what is the COP doing when it comes to child molestations, rape, and some of these things? What is the COP doing? I want for you to be able to tell the audience what the COP is doing.
Abraham,
the
we
COP
did
have taken a stand.
We would not be in support of any of these things, but I'm just trying to tell you, let me lay the foundation here so you can understand. Those people, they want to try to politicize the COP to make it look like it's a political party. And first of all, these are the same people that don't want to see COP to grow. Look at when the chairman Henry Costa tried to mobilize with the hard-working chairman, Mr. Dukley, and Johnson, then everybody tried to do something back home for those people for us to mobilize those children to stand up for themselves. And the same people, they undermine them. Look at what happened to the COP in the past year. The people, they just do everything to go bribe the children to make sure they start disbursing those children, giving them money conscience, doing all kinds of things. But everybody know the intention of the COP. The COP is not there to do something like we're not part of a political party.
But that does not answer my question. That does not.
AB, I will answer your question. I will answer your question.
What are you saying,
there is a
Ibrahim?
question.
You said child molestation, right?
A quarter call here and a quarter said, what is the COP doing when it comes to child molestation, rape?
The COP have done. The COP have done a lot.
Should not only be in the street to demonstrate, but you see the largest voice of the voiceless in Liberia. That's MP Costa. Every morning when you listen to him, anything that happened, he never did nothing under the stone. He would bring everything out. Is that not fighting for justice? Is that not fighting for Liberia? Or they should just use it? Because the same people, if somebody was saying when they take the people children, they put them in the street, they see Amram, the brother I was just speaking, they put the children in the street and then they run away. Why the people not live from there? You're on the money, you're working on the political side, and then you're pretending like you're working with the COP for them to go assassinate our people for nothing. So we deem it necessary now for our people to not get in the street. Let it get on the platform, let it bring our radio station back, then you will see if the COP not working.
So they must get your radio station back before you can be able to work.
But you're not watching. I just told you. I said every morning the chairman wake up and speak out.
Okay.
You're not hearing that?
Okay.
So that's just what I wanted to say here. So that when I sit there and then start making it look like the COP just not doing anything, we're doing much more. And the enjoyment we have in our money and our life, we have to live our life. This is our generation. We're not going to sit down because they say whatsoever be it.
Thank you.
So that's it.
Thank you. Lofa Julius, go ahead.
Yes, I'm here.
Lofa Julius, go ahead.
Okay. Mazik, I just want to make two quick points here, and I'll give other people the chance to call in and contribute. But a couple of things I want to call my brother Dukley too. I think
No. Can Julius hold on? I went
on here in response to his question.
I never contradicted. Can Julius hold on?
Can you hear me?
Julius, hold on, Julius. Go ahead, Chairman.
First of all, let me say this, AB. I won't contradict myself, and I never contradicted myself.
Exactly.
The COP has stood against rape. The COP has spoken against those issues, and the people of Liberia knows where the COP stands. Leader Costa, leaders on the ground in Liberia from the COP has spoken against molestation, rape, abuse, and everything, and they know where we stand. So we don't have anything to prove to anybody about where we stand on this issue. We stand firm with the Liberian people, and we are going to stand firm on the issue to say no to rape, no to child abuse, no to molestation. So people know what the COP do stand for. Now let's start the hypocrisy here and there. The COP has spoken on these issues. The COP has had press conferences on these issues. And the COP have made their stance known on these issues. So this is not something new that is coming out that the COP does not know about. And the COP never spoke about it. We have spoken about it, and we are still speaking about it. And our leader uses his platform every day to speak about those ills in society. Now, the question is, what are our political leaders doing?
When it comes to
because the burden, when it comes to molestation, when it comes to rape, when it comes to equality,
yes,
or abuse, what are they doing? The political party got a much bigger role to play, which the COP is playing. Now we can come in and support you when you are standing up for those things. We come in and support you, but we have been standing up on our own and talking about these issues. We shouldn't try to politicize anything here. The COP is now a political entity. We are speaking to the facts of what the COP can do and where the COP needs help in doing what they should do as a pressure group.
Thank
So
you.
I just wanted to make that clear to the brother.
Thank you. Let's go to Lofa Julius. Lofa Julius, go ahead. Hello,
Okay,
Lofa Julius, go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Again, thank you for bringing me back on. Like I said, I just want to highlight a couple things here. Key points that I felt like was a little bit contradicting from my brother Dukley's response.
Look,
Fast. You can never contradict
I never
yourself.
contradicted myself. Lofa,
let me just say
let
this
us
based
play.
on my view. That's what I'm saying. That's my.
Wait. Let Lofa land. Then you will come on.
Thank you. Okay, so in his response, he clearly stated that the COP is a pressure group. He categorized the COP as a pressure group and literally claimed or defined the institution as being non-political. All right, you have no political affiliation. Members of the institution can have their own political belief or agreement, but the institution itself have no political side. They support no political institution. Then the question posed to him was, why is it that not much is being done about all of the things that our lawmakers are doing? He then
Lofa, stop that.
He then referenced, why is it that the lawmakers of the opposition bloc are not doing much? I think what needs to happen here, and let me just get across, Brother Dukley. As a pressure group, you have no political affiliation, you have no political alignment. I think your responsibility, and I could be wrong, your responsibility is to apply pressure on both ends, whether...
Kora, coming to you.
It was to make sure that the voice of the people is heard. And that's the reason why you're applying and making sure that the force is not only on those in government, or not, those in government, but the living establishment. Instead, every political institution in the country, that's part of your responsibility. Not for you to say to us that because the opposition is there, if that is the
No,
case,
I did not say because. I said what?
To play that role, if you expect the opposition lawmakers to play that role, then what role are you playing as a pressure group? Your responsibility is to be able to make sure that you amplify the message of the people and force the words of the people. So do not push it back.
Thank you.
AB, let me answer Julius. Let me answer Lofa. Lofa, look, this is not political tic-tac we're going to do.
Hello?
I stated it clearly. I stated it very clearly. The COP has a duty call. We will do our duties. But I said to you, what are your political parties doing, your political leaders, also in providing the Liberian people a better life, providing the Liberian people in telling them what their lawmakers that they sent to the to the House of Congress to represent the Liberian people, what they are doing wrong. They do have a part to play in this, Lofa. So let's not do this political tic-tac thing. Let's stop it. The truth is the truth. The COP do have a duty call, but equally so, it has to do with political leaders that have been elected through political parties. What are they doing to tell those senators? We have sent a message out to those senators. We have told them, the representative, that is wrong, is outright wrong. So what are your political leaders doing?
Okay. So my question here before I pick up this call, my question here is the COP came out with any statement against the government when those when those people that was killed, the four auditors that was killed?
Yes, the COP did.
Okay. Quora, what is the name and where are you calling out from? Quora, what is the name and where are you calling out from?
All right, AB, my name is Sam D. Eco-Udrinan, and I'm calling from Minnesota.
Sam, go ahead.
How you doing, Sam?
The COP, as we know it, used to be a pressure group. I say used to be because of these reasons. The COP has been compromised.
So you are saying no. Let me hold you there. So you are saying that the COP is no longer a pressure group. That's what you are saying?
Well, it doesn't seem to be. I believe it has been compromised. And this is my statement. This is my opinion, and I can give reasons why.
Go ahead.
Okay. And the reason I say this is because reasons, actually, not reasons, but reasons. Number one, the COP has aligned itself with the CPP, even in its wrong.
Man, look, man, stop that. Stop that. Stop that.
No, tell me, wait.
That's a blood or lie. Blood or lie.
So most of the wrong things that transpired within the CPP is not spoken against by the COP. The chairman.
How can you say that? The chairman who is Aaron Costa make it clear that he have a personal relationship with Joseph Nyuma Boakai. That is a personal relationship.
It's not just. Here's the thing. Even if he has that, okay, and he failed to speak against JMB, then that's
first of all, it's a lie. Aaron Costa has stated. Aaron Costa has stated on his show on so many occasions. He has stated on his show on so many occasions.
The chairman is using this platform to be a senator, to run for the Senate. He wants to be the next senator.
Cut that guy off. Let me get to this.
No, we don't tolerate.
Audience, let me make this clear. Let me make this clear to you.
Chairman, make it clear.
Leader Aaron Costa have, with time in and time out, made it clear, crystal clear, about his stance on the CPP. He has a personal relationship with Boakai, but that does not stop him from speaking the ills that have been committed by these opposition lawmakers and the CDC lawmakers. Now you're talking about the chairman is trying to use the platform here because you want to run for Senate, for the Senate seat. That's an all-block lie. There is nobody running for Senate seat here. We're trying to make a distinction of the COP and political parties. What we can do and what we cannot do. How far we can go, how far we cannot go. And the political parties in Liberia do have a significant part to play within the restoration of the lives of Liberians.
I agree with you 100%.
The COP will do what she can do in helping to restore those lives. And secondly, AB, the COP is now well equipped. Like political parties that got money, that they can lobby, they can do anything. The COP is now well equipped. Like the government that has money. The COP depends on due paying members here for us to do what we are doing in Liberia. It goes back again. Some people may say, some people that are in politics or are political, they say you may sound silica. I'm not silica. But the truth of the matter is, these political parties, they do have a great stake in making the lives of Liberians to where we want it to be with the help of the COP. You cannot just sit there and clown yourself as a political party and then you want somebody to do the dirty work for you. No. If you want us to join you in restoring hope and life to the Liberian people, we got to do it collectively. Don't sit and try playing the bad guy and somebody should come and do the dirty work for you. And Leader Costa has talked about that on several occasions. And the other quarter that talk about social contract, yes. We have discussed this in so many of our executive meetings, that if the COP is going to support any political party, we are going to give you a social contract and we will solicit the signatures, and that contract will be taken to the Liberian people, that if you fail to do your due diligence duty, the COP will come after you. So don't just make it look like we are trying to take something from the Liberian people and the COP, they're the ones supposed to be doing all of these things. The political parties are to be doing what we are doing too.
Chairman, you said that the COP came up with a statement after the death of those 4 auditors.
The COP condemned. The COP condemned it. We condemn the action of the government of not carrying on speedy investigation and coming out with results. And the leader has been talking about it on the platform. And not just the 4 auditors.
The leader talking about it on his platform is quite different from the COP coming out with a verdict statement.
The COP did come out and condemn the act, the killing of the 4 senators. We did.
Okay.
And there was, if I can recall and remember, there was a letter that was drafted and sent to the American embassy from the COP in connection of the killing of the 4 auditors that we demanded and needed the American embassy to step in and the American government to step in.
All right, keep your call coming on 215-578-1050 or 215. We have just 30 more minutes here, folks, and then we will be wrapping it up. Chairman, it is more welcoming that you came here. You see what we have to go through.
I know.
This is welcoming, and I want for the COP to do it by their business, for them to be appearing on the show, on this platform.
Well, AB, before you take that quarter, 1 second before you take that quarter, let me just make it clear to you. We have talked about this with the national coordinator.
Yeah. Hold on.
That the COP is going to be appearing, going to have, people appearing on platforms, and even the COP going to have our own platforms to come out and talk about these kind of stuff, to rebut these kind of claims that is coming up, and people know very well what we stand for, what we do. But being people are trying to be some, politically silly, they try to turn the conversation around and make it personal.
Thank you.
So we are going to start appearing on platforms.
Let hold you there. Let's take another caller. Caller, what is your name and where are you calling from?
Yes, my name. How are you, Mr. MZ? My name is Elizabeth Sony Cardi Piketty. I'm calling from Paris, France.
Go ahead, Paris, France.
Thank you very much. Thanks to Mr. Dukley. I just wanted to lay out some on the historic part of COP before some people like our brother Dukley to enter. Yes, because the first day it happened, I was on the platform. I was one of those that were pushing Costa with text so that we can set up something for the public and think. And then at that same day, Mr. Yaka Koluba called out the same day telling him, I'm part of you people. Mr. DeLong called that same day so to tell you that I know about all these things. And I was the same person to push, even though you can look at his platform, you will see my text I sent to him all the time. To tell him, let us set up a site and people can go and register. It took at least a month, and that was done. I said, let us pay some money so that will help for us to continue the pressure, because we'll lack of money when the children go to jail, when they go to protest. And I was happy after they set up that and we start paying the dues. So my own aim here to be a COP member of France is that for us to support COP, so that COP, in case when they're involved in court, because that's what the statement of the chairman, Mr. Costa, at that time, he was worrying about that there was no money if the people go to court and things. So today I'm very surprised, Mr. Duque, that COP direction is directing to humanitarian. Are we a COP pressure group, or what now? We can do the both, humanitarian. But I don't think that what everybody is listening to concerning the COP. That's one. Two is that you're who the leader, the heads. You don't contact us who will pay dues around the world. We undertake projects with other concerns. Since last year, Mr. Duque, I've been sending messages to be able to tell me that how can all be able to participate in the project, because if we keep paying the money and we went buy rent for these people, or we went give rent for these people. So we were paying the money. Nobody asked us no question. Nobody sent us a report. normally in the association, and we need to send reports to the members so that the members can be aware what is going on. When the heads will go and sit and do this. So my question comes back to Mr. Dukle. So are we say the pressure group? Then we got to speak to it, because we cannot be the pressure group and be taking the money that we're using, and now we're not doing no protest. I understand. Okay, and then you are saying that CPP, but we should not forget that CPP is a child of COP. CPP was funded from COP because of COP.
No.
You have to work with them, that's true. But then you cannot. We have to work with them, but we cannot say that, we are pressure group, the politicians, they have to come and do this. We cannot, because we will say we want to do it for the people. So we're not there to wait for politicians.
Okay, thank
you. Let me address my sister on the first issue of the COP and the humanitarian stuff. Now, sister, let me tell you something. As the pressure group, you got to have deliverables. You got to have tangibles to give your people. You keep putting pressure on the government, but in return, the people will say, okay, we're protesting, we're doing that, but what is COP also showing in rebuilding the lives of the people? We got to show something too. Besides protestation, what else can we do to better the life of the Liberian people? It does not mean that you are no more a pressure group by you giving some sort of a humanitarian service to people. You are drawing on contracts. What you are pressuring the government for to do is what you are doing. You are telling them, this is not my job. You should be doing it. But now you are making me to do it. We are forced to do it. So we are still a pressure group, but we will still render humanitarian help when it is needed, sister. So just to clear the airway on that, and the leader have spoken about that. There are other COP leaders that have spoken about that. Number two, you talk about you are in France. I love the fact, but there is a chapter in Europe which is Frances Power is the chair lady for the Europe chapter, which consists of Germany, France, Norway, and I think Australia. So
no, Australia will not be in Europe.
No, Australia will not be there. Germany, France, Norway,
England.
Yeah. So those people, they do have a chapter leader, which is Frances Powell. Now, if you talk about you are not in the chat room, that I will agree with you that you will need to list with Frances Powell, or I will get your name from AB and give it to her so she can add you into the chat. Everybody that pays due into the COP, and AB, you know you are in the chat room, in the diaspora chat room, they put it in their quarterly of all the due paying members, how many COP has generated. We put it in there.
One of my audience is here asking, how much is the due payment? How much is that?
Well, the due payment for the national, they don't have a specific amount. You can destiny wherever you want to contribute. For the due payment on the chapter level, it's $10 across the board. So the due payment to the diaspora account, we don't have a specific amount. You can go in there and choose your own amount that you want to make as a recurring payment monthly, but on the chapter level, it's $10 a month. So Abraham is part of the Minnesota chapter. He pays $10 a month. I pay $10 every month. That's on the chapter level. But on the national level, there is no set amount.
All right.
So you can get in there and decide you want to pay $20, you want to pay $30, that's up to you.
Okay. Let's take another more call here. Then we'll be calling it a day. Coro, Elizabeth, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. MC, thank you for taking me. Look, I just want to be clear on this. Mr. Dukle, I'm happy for all your leadership. But me, as a founder of NAPA Polybia for 30 years, I know about association and how it functions. I cannot consider somebody to be my chairman when the president and myself have never sat in the table or for election. So as far as I'm concerned, Mr. Costa is the chairman for me and the father order. So the lady you calling her niece is not the chairman for France. And I told Mr. Costa about this. You cannot.
She's not the chairman for France. She's chairman of the Europe chapter.
We sitting down here and we don't aware of it, and you just appoint the person. So as far as I'm concerned, it's Mr. Costa, the chairman. Thank you.
No,
Excuse me. No, Amy, I will address that.
Okay.
I will address that.
Listen.
Sister, let me tell you this.
Elizabeth.
When the Euro chapter was funded, they went and picked who should be acting. Everybody in position right now is acting till we get the convention next year. So these are all people acting in this very capacity. Now, you in France, you should have a coordinator in France that will coordinate with the chair lady of the Euro chapter. All right? So don't say that she's not your don't say that she's not your chairman. She is your chair lady. And you need to understand that even in America, we have the national coordinator, Stephen Johnson, and we have all these sub-chapters under him. When we open up the chapter in Texas, Dallas is a sub-chapter of Texas. Dallas has a coordinator that coordinates with the chair lady of Texas. So that is what happened in Europe. All those countries are listed in Europe. The chair lady is French power. They should have coordinators. So that answers your question.
Yeah, Chairman, I want to thank you for coming on the Abraka Talk Show, and I hope that this discussion will not be the first and the last time that this platform is open to you.
No, it won't be.
For you to appear on the talk show at any given point in time. Just give me a call and you will definitely appear on the talk show. As you are informed, I am a COP member. That is practically clear. But I need to add like a talk show host. So that was the reason why I posted the questions to the chairman. But I myself, I am a COP member. So Chairman Dukley, thank you very much for coming. And your last word, please.
Well, it's a pleasure having me. I'm honored to be on your platform. Like I said, we will come wherever we need to make it clear to the Liberian people to draw the line of this thing between the COP and what people think and believe that the COP should go the extra miles. I'm glad to speak to tens of thousands of Liberian people. I hope tonight many of your questions may not be answered, but we will come back and address the issues again. But I will tell you that the COP is a very unique and generous organization. Don't sit and speculate. Don't hear from people with spreading rumors. It's good for you to come and see. And many of the people that came onto the net that were asking questions, they were all one part of the COP. But sometimes because of our own egotistic and selfish behavior, we tend to drive the other way. But the COP is a unique organization. I enjoy having such a conversation. I will be back again. Maybe this time around, the national coordinator himself will be on the stage with me, answering questions and talking about the issues. Have a blessed and pleasant weekend. I look forward to talking to you guys again.
Thank you. That was Chairman Dukley there. That's how we come to the very, very end of the Magnificent Abraka Talk Show. See you tomorrow when I see you. Bye-bye for now.